Reversing type 2 diabetes by treating the root cause, not the symptom. Managing diabetes isn't the goal with what I do. Reversing it is. And here's exactly how we actually do that. You've likely been told that type 2 diabetes is a lifelong condition, that it will just keep getting worse, that more medications are inevitable. You're going to be taking medications for the rest of your life, that you're stuck managing it forever. But what if that's just not true? Because if you address the root cause, not just the symptoms, you can reverse it. The problem is that most traditional advice focuses on symptoms, not solutions. You get prescribed medications to lower your blood sugars, and medications are just expensive band aids. You're told to eat better, to exercise more, but none of that addresses the root cause of the issue on its own, right? And if you never address the cause, you'll always be stuck in a cycle of chasing short-term fixes while your A1C looks like a roller coaster and your energy is at an all-time low, right? Here's the truth. The root cause of type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. And in a moment, we're going to be going through what actually causes insulin resistance too. And that is what we're here to fix, right? Step by step. Most women that I coach, they've tried everything, right? They've tried cutting out sugar, they've tried walking daily, they've tried keto, they've tried paleo, they've followed meal plans, and despite all of that, they've still not reversed their type 2 diabetes. In fact, most of them always end up right back to where they started, if not significantly worse. And they're exhausted, they're overwhelmed, and they're juggling far too many balls and still being told, just try harder. But it's not their fault. No one explained what causes type 2 diabetes. So here's how it actually works. Let's keep it really simple. Your body uses insulin to move sugar from your blood into your cells. When we say cells, we're referring to muscle tissue and liver, and other kind of internal organs too, as glycogen. Think of insulin as a key and your cells as locked doors. In a healthy body, the key fits, the doors open, and sugar gets inside. But when you're insulin resistant, the locks are jammed. So instead of sugar entering the cells as it should, it builds up in your bloodstream. This leads to high fasting blood sugars and elevated A1C, fatigue, and eventually pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. But here's where it gets really powerful. Insulin resistance is not permanent. Right? Let me say that again. Insulin resistance is not permanent. It's caused by something very specific, and that is body fat, aka adipose tissue. So the long-term solution is lose the right kind of fat, especially visceral and internal fat, which rebuilds insulin sensitivity, which leads to you lowering your blood sugars naturally, which leads to you being able to ditch the medications with the guidance of your doctor, of course, right? And here's a really quick example. In the UK's direct trial, which was a study, 292 participants with type 2 diabetes followed a very structured fat loss program. Almost 90% of those who lost 33 pounds or more reversed their type 2 diabetes within 12 months. And the ladies, the individuals, the men too, that lost more than that beyond those 12 months, that 90% was even higher. There were no specific medications, special medications, nothing like that. There was no surgery, just fat loss. And this is peer reviewed, replicated, and real. And for those who weren't overweight by appearance, they still carried visceral fat around the liver and pancreas. And that's the hidden fat that doesn't show on the outside, but still blocks insulin function at a significant level. So whether you look overweight or not, the goal stays the same. Lower excess body fat to reverse insulin resistance and over time reverse your type 2 diabetes. Now, how does this apply to you? Everything that we do inside the remission roadmap is based on the rule of three. In order to reverse type 2 diabetes efficiently, you need three things, and in this order of importance. The first is fat loss. This reduces excess adipose tissue, especially visceral fat, and improves insulin sensitivity at the root, leading to the reversal of type 2 diabetes. The second is a carb controlled diet, not keto, not no carb, none of those miserable restrictive approaches. The reality is, if an approach requires a large amount of sacrifice, right? If that diet requires a lot of sacrifice, it's going to feel very restrictive. And if it feels very restrictive, it's going to feel very hard to stick to. And you're not going to be able to stick to it, and it's going to be a short road to nowhere. And that's not your fault. It's not because you need more discipline. It's not because you need to want it more. It's not because you need more willpower. It's because the approach is unsustainable. We don't need massive amounts of sacrifice or massive amounts of restrictions in order to lose weight and reverse your type 2 diabetes. It can be far, far more flexible and enjoyable and sustainable than that, right? So we've got fat loss, we've got a carb controlled diet, and we've got movement. And the best kind of exercise is the kind you'll actually do, right? Even small amounts of daily movement helps. Now, what we coach when it comes to diet and nutrition is the carb regulation protocol, or the CRP. And we coach the ladies how to use the CRP to be able to eat their favorite everyday foods while still losing stubborn body fat, lowering their A1C, and reversing their type 2 diabetes. And yes, that does include bread, pasta, rice, pizza, and even sweets. An approach which is actually sustainable long term, something that they can actually stick to, right? Now, if you've ever felt overwhelmed or confused by other advice, always come back to this. The rule of three: fat loss, carb control, and movement. That's what you need in order to reverse your type 2 diabetes and get off meds. That's it. That's the formula. That's what works. Kathy lost 140 pounds, dropped her A1C to 4.8, and is off all medications, all diabetes meds. Joanne dropped 37 pounds and eliminated 3 medications in just 5 months. Nikki reversed her diabetes and now has the energy to live life fully again. This approach works because it's based upon objective truth and reliable data. Right? What about if you just imagine this? Imagine this just for a moment. In 90 days, you're 18 to 30 pounds lighter. Your blood sugar has dropped significantly. You're fitting into a size of clothes you've not worn in years or even decades. Your doctor is talking about removing medications, not threatening about adding more. And the best of all, you feel in control, not restricted, not confused, not overwhelmed. Now, first of all, I hope you found this insightful. If you've got any questions about any of these parts so far, all you need to do is drop me a message. But we can help. If you're ready to finally reverse your type 2 diabetes, all you need to do is DM me the word reversal. We'll have a quick 10 to 15 casual chat, 10 to 15 minute casual chat. You won't be committing to anything on this call. I want to make that loud and clear. You won't be committing to anything. It's just a chat. We'll grab a coffee and just discuss where we're at and what challenges we've currently got. And then if we want to schedule in another chat another time, then we can. Spots are limited though. We operate at full capacity. Plus, we guarantee results. If you don't hit your goal in our 6 months together, I coach you for free until you do. So the reality is, the cool thing is, there's quite literally no risk in getting started. Right? With the ladies that we coach, the outcome, the result is inevitable. If you would like to, again, have a casual chat about that, all you need to do is DM me the word reversal and we'll find a time that suits. Any other questions about anything else, my inbox is open. I'm here. All you need to do is drop me a message and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.